Chris, what is our third main topic?
Our third topic comes from Super Mario. I love you, man. Hello, John and crew. I just read an article from The Wrap that claimed that the Oscar fan favorite Twitter poll was rigged by bots to cast votes for Army of the Dead. Bots are nothing new, but this is a huge problem for the Academy as fan votes can be manipulated by a small majority. Thoughts, Rob?
Well, if there's one thing you should never underestimate, it's young people with their computers.
Mm-hmm.
And especially you should not underestimate Zack Snyder's fan base.
Fanatical.
And when you put computers and their fan bases together, especially Zack Snyder, you wind up with this. So first of all, I gotta give it up for them. This comes to us from Heroic Hollywood. For the cheer-worthy moment, Zack Snyder's Justice League won the online Twitter poll for when The Flash entered the Speed Force. His Netflix film, Army of the Dead, won the fan favorite film of 2021. Now, however, it appears both of these Oscar polls were rigged. According to a report from The Wrap, the majority of those who voted in the two Oscar categories were autonomous web programs. Reports from Tweetbinder, a hashtag analytics tracking tool, reveal that the most active contributors to both polls were made up of these programs that cast thousands of fake votes for Army of the Dead and Zack Snyder's Justice League. David Kirsch, a University of Maryland professor, agreed that the majority of the pro-Zack Snyder accounts didn't appear to be made by a human user.
Wow.
I mean, somebody could then, maybe make the joke that Zack Snyder's movies are not necessarily made by a human user as well. But I am not one of those people.
It was you, man.
No.
Someone could say.
Look, I have to say that Army of the Dead was actually the first film I saw after the pandemic. It was the first movie I went to the theater to see. And I have to say, Zack Snyder did something. The original Dawn of the Dead is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I couldn't believe that somebody would dare remake it. And I remember going in to see Dawn of the Dead, with a scowl on my face, even though James Gunn wrote it. I was so ready to hate that movie. I wanted to hate Zack Snyder. I wanted to hate Dawn of the Dead. And I was like, that's pretty good. I liked it. I thought it was good. And I thought what he did with 300, the way he really brought to life Frank Miller's graphic novel, I thought it was incredible. And while, yes, it's true, I never thought we would ever get a Snyder cut of Justice League. And I never thought it would happen. However, when HBO Max was created, I then changed my tune and said, now there's somebody to pay for it. And I was there for it, and I really liked Zack Snyder's Justice League. I bought the 4K disc in Europe before it was even available here.
Ooh.
And I am a Zack Snyder fan. I even liked Sucker Punch.
Oh,
can I say that? I know. Look, there's certain,
that's one of Logan's favorites.
There's certain joys to be had in that movie.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I get you.
I think there's a lot of really interesting visuals. I was not a fan of Army of the Dead, to be honest. I saw it. I thought it was a little all over the place. So I was not, I'm not some Zack Snyder acolyte that'll just love everything he's working on. However, I'm really excited about his new Netflix deal, and he's making his film Rebel Moon now.
Oh.
But now let me ask you
10 out of 10, baby.
I know, Rebel Moon. It's got to be your biggest upcoming
most
title.
anticipated
9 out of 10. He put Rebel in there. So it would have been 10 out of 10.
You want an
It's just
obedient
Moon.
Well, let me ask you guys.
Rob gave us the big sigh. He's like, I'm trying to run a show here.
That's true.
Go ahead.
No. So let me ask you, does this surprise you, Ray, that people would use computers to manipulate voting for a Zack Snyder movie to get an award?
I kind of wish I thought about this topic more, because I would want to pull up a list of all the ones that were nominated for fan favorite. And then maybe, because I did like Zack Snyder's Justice League. So if there was nothing else on that list that I liked, I probably would have voted for it. So I'm not surprised. People use bots all the time, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, just to get like the clout or whatever. I watch YouTube videos about how this particular person used bots to get to where they are and this and that. And so like, I'm not surprised. But does it change anything? I wasn't going to vote in that fan vote, even though it was like the Oscar said Oscars for you or something like that. You know, that little headline was the Oscar goes to you, and then the two categories. I wouldn't have voted anyway, so maybe the bots should have voted because no one else would have voted.
But here's the thing. I do think that there's something to be said that the fact that the Snyder Cut got made is kind of a triumph of fandom. There's a lot of people that kept it alive. The Snyder Cut fans did raise money for great causes such as suicide prevention. The fact that they made HBO Max take a look at them, the voice of the fans was heard, and HBO Max invested $70 million to finish the Snyder Cut. And, I have to say, Flash entering the Speed Force is pretty dope.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty great superheroic moment. I do have my Ezra Miller hot toy, so recreating it in my Robservatory is always a fun thing to do. But now, let me ask you, Chris. Clearly, I would say that if people can manipulate these kinds of polls, they should do so because it keeps people on their toes. This is how we figure out how things work and how things don't. In the cyber age, does this surprise you? Do you feel bad? Do you think that this shouldn't have happened? Because somebody had to have a coordinated idea that, let's use bots. Let's have a denial of service attack, and we're only going to make sure Army of the Dead wins the award.
It's wild Snyderverse collusion. I think this category's stupid. I think this is a dumb category to have. The nominees for this too, Ray, were Venom, Let There Be Carnage, Dune, Tick Tick Boom, Minamont, Spider-Man No Way Home, Cinderella from Amazon, and of course Army of Dead, or Army of the Dead.
Oh, I would have voted No Way Home for sure.
Right?
So now that's weird.
I mean, I'm not a fan of rigging any kind of voting situation. That being said, this already was a completely no stakes category for me. It was an internet poll. We put those up all the time.
Was the statue actually given to those two?
I think in the ceremony it was just like, and this is this person. I
think it was. I don't think they get a statue.
Yeah.
Oh well, then it's not a real.
Exactly.
Oscar. Yeah. So why?
It felt like such a notice me senpai moment from the Academy to young viewers.
Right, exactly. In a shameless act to make the Academy Awards more relevant to young people, which is weird because as a kid, I lived to watch the Oscars.
My mom would get me dollar store boas, and we would have a fake red carpet so that I could feel like a little famous actress, and we'd watch the red carpet, and we sat down, and we'd pick out who we thought were going to win, and that's something that I've carried over since then. You don't have to make it fun and exciting. It inherently is already exciting to people who love movies, at least in my opinion.
Out of curiosity, I just want to ask everyone, including you, Jonathan, did you guys like the Snyder Cut of Justice League?
I loved it.
Yeah. I thought it was a good release, to be honest. And the worst part is I wanted to see part 2 because I wanted to see Darkseid fight the Justice League. It was like knowing that we wouldn't get that just made me so sad. So in a way, it was kind of like, maybe I shouldn't have watched
a bittersweet victory.
Yeah.
For me, that was the only part I liked, though. Obviously, I thought it was better than what Joss Whedon gave us, but that was a low bar for me. So the whole film, it just felt long and unnecessary. And then the last 5 minutes or what I went, oh, that'd be a cool movie. I know that's not a popular opinion.
I thought it was operatic and mythic. I enjoyed it. I mean, I as a DC fanboy from an early age, and the Justice League was my first favorite super team. To see them presented in a very Alex Rossian sort of a way with the tableaus, the shots, everything was. I mean, he clearly took so much inspiration from Alex Ross's work that I was so there for it. Watching, going, I love this. I thought it was great, but I mean, manipulating voting is never a good thing. But if the votes can be manipulated, shouldn't the people that set up those votes realize how they can get around the bots and figure out a way to up their security?
It happens all the time, not even in voting, if like purchasing like sneakers or collectibles that are limited. People use bots all the time. I'm pretty sure they threw this out there and then weren't aware of the consequences of creating something like an online fan vote. There should be more measures to prevent this, but someone will always find a way. Humans are smart. We're,
and we're devious and sneaky.
Yeah, you give the humans something, sometimes they turn it around on you. I don't know.
Well, it's true. I don't know if they'll ever do that again. And like you said, it was pretty dumb. But I do have to say that the Academy Awards, as a kid, I learned what disappointment really meant the Academy Awards that were in 1978 for the films from 1977, when Star Wars lost to Woody Allen's Annie Hall for Best Picture. Was part of my innocence died that day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's when it died?
Part of it.
Some of it in college.
That day.
Some of it probably in college.
If you did a prequel, that's where it would start. And then, yeah.
Yes. But I still love the Oscars. I still love the old school Hollywood of it all. You know, what's not to love? Well, what do you guys think? What do you think about Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead winning and the Speed Force scene from Zack Snyder's Justice League also winning? Do you think that manipulation was a bad thing? Go down in the comments, and I want to hear from you. Tell us your worst. Tell us your finest. Tell us whatever you want.
Get your bots to comment, too.
And I want to know, I want you to hashtag release the Snyder Cut, keep the Snyderverse, whatever your hashtags are. Put those down in the comments, too.
Hey, guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, HelloFresh. Now, Ann and I were both working professionals, so sometimes making delicious and nutritious meals can sometimes be very time constraining on us. And that is why we love HelloFresh. HelloFresh makes having delicious and nutritious meals fun, easy, and it saves us time and money. With HelloFresh, you get farm-fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable, and that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. And listen, HelloFresh is 72% cheaper than dining at a restaurant, and it's even cheaper than grocery shopping. That's money back in your pocket. HelloFresh has fit and wholesome recipes for satisfying and nutritious meals that you can feel good about, with 6 recipes per week to choose from, including low-calorie and carb-conscious options. So right now, guys, go to HelloFresh.com/Campea16 and use the code Campea16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Once again, that's HelloFresh.com/Campea16. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.